Hi guys, so today's a bit of a special day for us as we're off to collect a new car to the fleet. Now, you're probably thinking we've got quite a few already and what could it possibly be? But there's one particular scene that we don't have a car from yet. Myself and Simon have been to look at a few cars recently and it's this particular model that we've been interested in for what, 2-3 years now probably. All of the cars we've seen haven't really hit the spot, but on a chance viewing last Sunday, I think I found the one. I've just got the call and the car's ready to collect, so we're going to jump in the van, head over and show you what's going to be joining us here with the rest of the fleet. Here it is, the latest car to the Auto Finesse fleet, a 1994 Nissan R32 GTR. We've wanted one of these for a little while and we've finally done it. As our first step into the JDM scene, we've got a car that we actually feel we can add our touch to. We've been scouring the internet for parts already and we're going to get onto some of our suppliers and see if we can't make this car look more like one of the Auto Finesse fleet. So it's been a couple of weeks and as you can see there's been a couple of deliveries as well. Our wheels are in, we've got tyres on them, the coilovers have turned up, we've got big brake kits, we've got lower arms, we've got radiators, fan packs, we've even got some parts for the interior behind us too. So we're going to set about fitting some of this up to the car and then we'll talk to you in more detail about each of the parts and why we've chosen for this particular project. you can see, things have progressed a little bit since yesterday. The guys have cracked on and we've got the coilovers on the car. BC Racing kindly hooked us up with a full set for this vehicle, and then Hard Race supplied the camber arms and the tow arms as well. They're all fitted up, so we're going to jump on to replacing these brakes with the K-Sport setup that we've got for the car, both front and rear. So since last time you've seen the vehicle, the lads have been hard at work and they've managed to get all the brakes fitted up. We've got K-Sport 6 pots on the front, 4 pots on the rear, discs all round, fully floating. They're fitted up nice. They actually fit under the wheels, surprisingly. When we first got them out the bags, we thought we might have a little bit of a clearance issue on the 18s, but there's plenty of room to spare. One of the weakest points on the car when I first test drove it as a stock vehicle was the brakes. It was brakes and suspension were kind of all over the place, as you'd expect with a car of this age. Is nothing by sort of modern standards. So we're hoping this will bring it right up to date, help us stop it once we put a bit more power under the hood. Whilst we've been busy on the stance side of things, the guys have also been busy under the hood as well. We've got this huge HKS intercooler fitted. We've also got the HKS SSQ fitted up as well. We've got a Mishimoto rad fitted just to cool everything down a little bit. And then on the intake side, we've got the Apexi intakes going on. I feel the only thing we're missing under here is that big turbo, but that might come before the end of this video. part of the running gear upgrade on this, with the suspension and arms, we wanted to delete out that high cast system. Now you hear all kinds of stories with them going wrong and being unreliable, but this was one of the first cars to have four-wheel steering on, so let's not forget that. It did drive particularly well with it on, and for a stock car, it was amazing round roundabouts and round corners. But Celsius kindly hooked us up with the high cast block out kit. We've deleted it out just for safety's sake. It also helps us get a little lower. It removes one more variable from the setup for us, and we're not really going to need it. We've had the car out and we've run it up and down the yard a couple of times, and there's a bit more work required, I think. We're probably not going to be able to go this low at the moment. There's a couple more bits we're going to have to fettle with underneath. So there was a bit of knocking, and we feel that it might be the upper arm that we changed. So we're going to look for a different one that maybe gives us a bit more clearance, maybe isn't as chunky or has kind of an arc to it. At the moment, it runs, it doesn't rub, there's just that knock on the top. So we're going to investigate a little bit more and see if we can get rid of that, and then hopefully get even lower. Another noticeable change with the car is the interior. Now, the original interior was super clean and it looked okay, but velour seats just really ain't us. We had these brides already in stock. We kind of just picked them up like we do some parts, and we were waiting for the right car. Once we got the GTR, we knew exactly what we were going to be putting in here. We managed to source the seat rails over from Japan, and we've got the low maxes in. We've done a rear seat delete as well, and then we've put the harnesses in. We've got the harness bar in now as well, which really kind of finished that off. The steering wheel, the original one that was here, just didn't look right in the car with these seats. So we've gone for a Nardi steering wheel on this, just kept it kind of classic looking, and still not 100% sure how I feel about that steering wheel in this car. But I'm gonna give it a bit of time, see how we get on with it. It does feel really nice and it's in the right position, but I felt it needed a bit more of a deep dish than what we've gone for there. So that might get changed up again later on. We've replaced that old ratty handbrake gator, and we've changed the gear knob and the gear gator as well, just to freshen things up on the inside. But other than that, it really was a good car in here already. What we have gone ahead and done is change out the stereo system that was in it. Kenwood kindly hooked us up with the head unit, and then Kicker have kindly hooked us up with speakers, a sub, some amps under the seat as well, just to kind of bring things up to date. It's not that we want to drown out the sound of this lovely engine and the exhaust note, it's just sometimes on a long drive you want to have a bit of music on, especially if you're driving a real long way across Europe or something. So yeah, the interior is now looking much more like the outside of the car, and it's kind of fitting in with the theme we're going. So I'm excited to actually get in the driver's seat, get the harnesses on and actually have a drive of it, but I think there's still a few more things we've got to do before we're at that point. Stick with us, see how it all goes.
Wall pumps on its way out, which means you need that, timing belts. You need, like, we could get into it, but it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take up your bay. Do we know anyone that can just go through this for us? Because it's a good car. I know, like, we're just taking it on face value though, of what we've got in front of us. So is there anyone we can just take it to and go, who knows their shit, can just give it to them and go, right, do this, sort that out. If it was mine, okay, tune it. Yeah. Ron Cadell. Yeah.
So today's the day. We're here at Arcade Tuning picking up our R32 GTR. The guys have done a ton of work on it. It's had new turbos, cams, the ECU, decat, fuel rail injectors and a host of other parts to see if we can get a bit more power out of that mighty RB26. It's on the truck right now and we're going to head over to the rolling road and see what figures it pulls. Stick with us, see what we got. Hi guys, so today is the big day. We are heading over to RK Tuning to finally collect the R32 GTR. Now, last time you see us, we were just going to head over to Redline Tuning and see what it made on the rollers. We made an impressive 477 at the flywheel, which we're pretty happy with. Don't get us wrong, we'd have loved to have broke that magic number, the 500, but it's probably not realistic on the stock internals. We've then sent the car back over to RK Tuning for them to do the final setup. You'll probably notice from the rolling road footage that it was sitting a little bit goofy on the rollers. That was just so we didn't have to worry about any clearance issues and they could just do their thing without worry. Now it's over at RK, they're going to do a full setup for us. We're just going for kind of a street sort of geo with it. We're not going mental, we're not going to build a full out track car or anything. We want to use this car, be able to take it out, enjoy it in the summer, take it to a couple of meets, a few shows, that type of thing. So we're going to go pick it up and then we're going to get the first drive in it since all the modifications have been done. The last time I drove this car, it was in its absolute stock form. Other than just driving it in and out the unit, I've not driven it on road since. So it should be a stark difference between then and now. Hopefully we've made it better and not worse. Stick with us, see how it all goes. That's slightly different to what it used to be. That's a fast car. So we're back from RK Tuning and yeah, quick fuel fill up, and it's actually not used that much. I've played about with some of the switches. We've got a few finishing bits to do in here on a control panel to put the selectable map and launch control and anti-lag switches on. But other than that, the build is complete. It drives amazing now. The setup of the suspension when we first done it, it was a little bit crashy. We didn't quite have it right. Those guys over there really know their stuff with these cars. They know them inside out. They've dealt with them for years. So we give it to them and give them their dues. It drives completely different now. Don't get me wrong, way more powerful, but also the handling, and it's just so precise. It don't feel like an old car anymore. So it's literally got old school looks and that old school sort of turbo power feel, but it's brought right up to date with the handling and the tech and stuff, like the stereo and the Bluetooth and everything. I know it sounds a bit not really for the true driver, but if you're doing a long distance journey, my phone's always going off. It's handy just to be able to answer calls and stuff while you go along. I kind of like my license and don't want to lose it, so it is a bit of a benefit. But yeah, it is finally built. The car is now finished, it is complete. There's no more modifications. Well, there will be more modifications, but there's no more modifications we want to do right this moment. We're happy with it how it is. I'm going to jump out of this muddle of seatbelts you now have to get in that take about half hour to do back up. Going to go inside, chat to the guys now and plan the big detail. The next video will be that. It will be us taking this car fully apart and cleaning every square inch of it that we can get access to. And then hopefully it'll be out on the road, heading to some shows and some meets near you soon.